Hey, what's good guys? This is FZM Studio. Welcome back. Who's ready for another ultimate speed test? Today I've brought along two of the greatest smartphones released by Huawei in 2017. I've got the best of Huawei's Mate range going head to head against the best of Huawei's P range. So, the lethal Huawei Mate 10 Pro versus the fabulous Huawei P10 Plus. Now, just how much of an overall increase in speed has been implemented from the Kirin 960 to the Kirin 970 chipsets, and with the Huawei Mate 10 Pro's newly built AI NPU, can it walk all over the P10 Plus? It's time to find out. So, let's get ready for it guys, and if you're new here and enjoy what you see, do hit that subscribe button because there's tons more content coming up. As per usual, let's get a clear overview of the specifications of both phones. The Huawei Mate 10 Pro contains a newly built chipset, Kirin 970. It has an octa-core CPU, an ARM's Mali G72 GPU, 6GB of RAM, and a capacity storage of 128GB. For the Huawei P10 Plus, it has the Kirin 960 chipset, which was the previous iteration of Huawei chipsets, an octa-core CPU also, and ARM's Mali G71 GPU. It has the same 6GB of RAM and 128GB of built-in storage. Right, so it's time to see how well they perform. Let's begin. So, first and foremost, as per usual, the boot up test. Let's see who comes out quicker here. So, both power buttons of each device are located on the right hand side underneath the volume rocker. Time to fire them up and see who comes in quicker here. There's your new slick animation on the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. Huawei have removed their logo, which you can still see on the P10 Plus. Interesting. And we are in! The Mate 10 Pro showing you just what type of speed we're dealing with. Wow. And there we can see the P10 Plus coming in a few seconds afterwards. Very impressive boot up times for the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. A superstar indeed from their new flagship. Great stuff. Next up, the apps. Let's go. Right, let's kick things off with the first app and let's go into the settings. And we see very fast times on both devices. Very hard to split them obviously. I'd call it a draw. Play Store, the next app. Let's try it, and we see the Mate 10 Pro coming in faster. Nice. Back to the home screen. Moving on, let's try the next app, which is Google Chrome. Very fast times on both phones, but the Mate 10 Pro is faster. For camera, again, very evenly matched. Not a huge difference, to be honest. Moving on, let's go to YouTube. And there you see the P10 Plus coming in faster. Great stuff. Okay, let's try Instagram. Home feed faster for the P10 Plus, possibly a faster Wi-Fi connection. For Snapchat, we see the Mate 10 Pro. Okay, back to the home screen. Let's move on and let's go to Shazam. Exactly the same, no differences whatsoever. For Netflix, we can see faster times on the P10 Plus. Nice. Home screen once more. Okay, Mario Run. First game, let's see what we've got here. So loading times a little bit quicker on the Mate 10 Pro at the moment, but can it be changed? Let's have a look. Okay, no, the Mate 10 Pro certainly came in faster. Moving on, let's go to Boomerang. Very similar times, probably the Mate 10 Pro, and for the response times, the P10 Plus was faster on the touch. Cool. Let's go to Android Pay. A little bit of buffering on both phones, and there again the P10 Plus, excellent stuff. Back to the home screen. Okay, let's try speed test and let's find a server, and we see the P10 Plus again. I assume the Wi-Fi is faster on this phone. I've had a few issues with the Mate 10 Pro recently. Let me know if you guys have been in the same boat. Okay, back to the home screen and we're going into Just Eat. I'd say the P10 Plus a little bit faster, maybe by a split second or so. But moving on, let's try Mixer. Let's try running the streaming service and see if the Wi-Fi is affected once again. We see, no, okay, the Mate 10 Pro was faster. It's loaded all the videos as you can see. Slight delay on the P10 Plus. Okay. 8-ball pool. And any second. Okay, we're nearly there. There we go. Ooh, very hard to split them again, but the P10 Plus I'd say was faster. Asphalt 8. Again, the loading screen a little bit quicker on the P10 Plus, which is awesome. I'm really impressed. As you should be, the P10 Plus is a fantastic phone, and there you can see, clearly coming out ahead. Excellent. Moving on, let's go to Twitch. Very fast, evenly matched, no big differences. Okay, let's try the next app, which is going into the Google folder. let's try play movies. Bit of buffering, and the Mate 10 Pro, by a split second, these two phones are performing exceptionally well in terms of speed. It's very hard to pick them apart for duo. Again, as you just saw, evenly matched. Okay, so back into the Google folder, let's try Drive. Absolutely identical, no differences there. And let's go into the final app, which is Play Games, and again, no differences whatsoever in terms of speed. Great stuff, very impressive from both Huawei phones. Okay, so the next test is a RAM management test. We're going to find out how well the apps have been held on the memory of each device. Both phones have 6 gigs of RAM. Let's see. Play Store. Ooh, we've got a refresh on the P10 Plus. For Chrome, held on the memory. Nice. For Boomerang, that's good. The photo that we took is still there. For Asphalt 8, so it's an intensive app. More harder for the memory, but as you guys can see, no problems on both phones. Great. For Mixer, ready to continue where we left off. Nice. Okay, moving on to speed test. Let's see if the server's good. Yep, ready to begin the test. For Netflix, great stuff. Very fast, as you guys can see, no issues, no delays. For Android Pay, exactly the same stuff. For Shazam, ready to tap to listen to music. For 8-Ball Pool, ready to log in and play on both phones. Very good. For YouTube, here we go, and there you go, your second refresh for the P10 Plus. For Play Games, excellent. Snapchat, again, no problems for refreshing. For the camera, as you guys can see, it brought it up very fast. Maybe a hint of a refresh for reloading the camera, but as you guys can see, no delays. Nice. For Just Eat, good to go. And let's go back up to Twitch. A little bit faster to bring it up, I see, on the Mate 10 Pro. For Drive, we've got no refreshes. And finally, for Instagram, I suspect we'll get a reload of the feed, which is no surprises whatsoever, but there's a picture of a giraffe. Didn't expect that, to be honest, guys. End of the app test. Moving on, let's go. Okay, for the Huawei Mate 10 Pro, its fingerprint sensor is located at the back of the device. It's aligned in the center underneath Huawei's signature stripe, which is basically the Leica dual lens camera setup, is what they like to call it. It's very easy to access, and due to its circular shape and indentation, you can't miss it. For the Huawei P10 Plus, its sensor is located at the front on its capacitive home button key, which again is an extremely suitable place for it to be located and is straightforward to use. So as usual, let me adjust my hands a little, and wow, there you can see, near identical, if not identical. A little bit more adjustment and you'll see just how quick these sensors are. There's no question, they come out at the same speed as I attempt it a few more times. It's incredible how efficient and effective Huawei sensors have become, from the P9 to the Honor range, and with these two as well. Unlocking your phone must be this convenient, and I hope it stays for 2018. Absolutely fantastic from Huawei. Right, after all those tests, it's time to switch them both off and see who can power off first. So I've hit the power button, and wow, there it is. The Mate 10 Pro has switched off, and just a few seconds later, there we see the P10 Plus powering off also. So it appears that its recent update has fixed any bugs on the Mate 10 Pro, as it was a lot slower for powering off. So I'm happy that they've sorted it out. So, in summary guys, the Huawei Mate 10 Pro begins the speed test in an incredible manner, with lightning fast boot up times which easily surpass the P10 Plus. Fantastic stuff, so a huge point to the Mate 10 Pro. Next up, for launching the apps, I'm hugely impressed by the P10 Plus, as it managed to launch the apps in almost identical times as the Mate 10 Pro. In fact, it also managed to beat the Mate 10 Pro in several apps also. This just goes to show you how excellent the P range is, and how Huawei have emerged to become one of the leading smartphone manufacturers of the world in recent time in terms of price and performance. Excellent, a point to the P10 Plus. In terms of RAM management, extremely similar performances from both Huawei phones. Strictly speaking, the Mate 10 Pro held all of its apps, whereas the P10 Plus only refreshed Play Store and YouTube. Does that mean it's worse than the Mate 10 Pro? Absolutely not. In fact, as my previous daily driver, the P10 Plus has been an exceptionally quick handset and never crashes in terms of app management. So, a huge point both ways. For the fingerprint sensor, both the Mate 10 Pro and P10 Plus continued the tradition of having excellent fingerprint sensors. Not only are they some of the fastest and most responsive sensors in the Android market, but I like how they are designed, especially on the P10 Plus, as it works as a navigation key, home button and fingerprint sensor. Wow, consistency is the key. Another point both ways. Finally, for powering off, we see the Mate 10 Pro coming out ahead, so a final point here. Your final result and verdict, your speed test winner, the truly incredible Huawei Mate 10 Pro. So, to conclude guys, what a superb performance from the Huawei P10 Plus against its newer and more cooler counterpart, the Mate 10 Pro. The Mate range will always be Huawei's ultimate flagship, and now you can see why. Despite that, I am so looking forward to the Huawei P11 and P11 Plus, or P11 Pro, or whatever they want to call it, in 2018. Certainly Huawei are the one to watch. Apple, Samsung and even Google better keep an eye out. The competition is hot. Team OnePlus, I see you too. But whose team are you on? Who's going to take over in 2018? And what's been your favourite smartphone of 2017? Let me know. So guys, drop me a comment below and share your thoughts on this speed test. And be sure to leave your suggestions on what smartphones you want to see go head to head next. I'll be checking them all out and noting them all down. And we'll be getting ready to do them as soon as possible. So keep them coming, there's tons more content coming up. Smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And as always guys, hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. And I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Peace.